Good morning. Today's lesson, page 13 of your math books, lesson 1.3, compare and order numbers. So as we unlock the problem, follow along. Grand Canyon National Park in Arizona had 651,028 visitors in July 2008 and 665,188 visitors in July 2009. In which year did the park have more visitors during the month of July? So how many visitors were there in July 2008? 651,028. And 2009, 665,188. There's two ways we can solve these types of problems. We can use a place value chart, and we can also use a number line. So the first way we're going to talk about solving this is using a place value chart. And the reason we would use a place value chart is to line up the digits by the place value. So line up the ones with the ones, the tens with the tens, and so on. So we're going to compare 651,028 and 665,188 by writing those numbers in the place value chart. 651,028. So I'm going to write the first number, and in the second one, I want to make sure I line up the place value. So I'm actually going to go right to left with that number. So it's the 8 in the ones place, 8 in the tens place, 1 in the hundreds, 5 in the thousands, 6 in the 10,000, and 6 in the 100,000. Now, starting from the left, compare the digits in each place value position until the digits differ. And step one, so we compare the 100,000s. And we notice that both of them are sixes, so 600,000s is the same as 600,000s. So that didn't help us decide which one was larger. So step two, then we move to the 10,000s. And we notice that the first number had 5 10,000s, and the second one has 6 10,000s. So we can say that 5 10,000s is less than 6 10,000s. So 651,028 is less than 665,188. So, but let's go back to our question. It says, in which year did the park have more visitors? So the month that had more visitors was July of 2009. So there were more visitors in July 2009. More visitors in July 2009. All right, let's move on to page 14. So our second way we can solve this is also by using a number line. And so it says locate and label each point on the number line, and the first one is done for you. So they put 10,408 just before 10,410. Our next number is 10,433. So that would be right here. And then 10,416. 10,416 would be right here. It's going to be in between 10,410 and 10,420. All right, so we've labeled all three of our digits, all three of our numbers on the number line. And now the numbers to the left are closer to 0. So 10,400 is the smallest on this number line, and 10,450 is the largest value. So the numbers from least to greatest are 10,408, 10,416, and 10,433. You can also write it as 10,408, is less than 10,416, which is less than 10,433. Okay, so number one, compare 15,327 and 15,341. We're going to write less than, greater than, or equal, and we're going to use the number line to help. So let's find 15,327. So that's going to be between these two values. And this is 15,325, 26, 27. And where is 15,341? It's going to be right here. And so we know that the numbers to the left are closer to 0. So this is our smallest value on our number line. So 15,327 is smaller or less than 15,341. So let's continue. And we're going to compare, writing less than, greater than, or equal for these numbers. Now, you can write out all of these numbers in the place value chart, but since we know that the digits, the place values have to be lined up, we can stack them on top of each other. So here I've written the first number, 631,328. Let's take the second number and write it from the ones to its largest place value. So 9 is in the ones place, 0 in the tens, 0 in the hundreds, 0 in the thousands, 4 10,000s, and 6 100,000s. And now we know that our first step is to look at the digit to the far left, which in this case is the 100,000s, and they're both sixes. So that doesn't help you figure out which one's larger. So then we go to the 10,000s, and we know that there's 3 10,000s compared to 4 10,000s. And 3 is less than 4. So $631,328 is less than $640,009. Okay, number 3. Go ahead and again, let's compare by place value. Okay, so 0 is in the ones, 8's in the tens, 8's in the hundreds, 2 is in the thousands, and 5 is in the 10,000. So I start at the 10,000s, and they're both 5s. So that doesn't help you. So then we go to the 6,000s and compare that to the 2,000s. Okay, because the digits are different in that place value. 6,000 is greater than 2,000, so 56,991 is greater than 52,880. 708,561 compared to 629,672. So we can write 708,561 and then write the second digit by lining up the place values from ones to 100,000s. 7, 6, 9, 2, 6. And here we see that the 700,000 is greater than 600,000. So 708,561 is greater than 629,672. Number 5, 143,062. And then we're going to take 98,643 and line it up by its place value, ones to 10,000s, 3, 4, 6, 8,000, 9, 10,000s. And then there's no 100,000. Okay, well, since the first number has 6 place value digits and the second one only has 5 place value digits, the 100,000 has to be larger than no 100,000s. So 143,062 has to be greater than 98,643. All right, number 6, we're going to line these up by place value from greatest to least. It's very important when we read these problems that we notice which direction they want us to order it. Okay, so so I've lined up the 3 numbers by their place value. And if I'm going left to right, I notice that they all have 2 10,000s. So we have to go to the next value. What I'm looking for is the number that's the greatest. I'm trying to find which number would go first. And so 0 compared to 1 is less. So the largest number is 21,150. So I've written that one down. Now I have to find which one is the next largest, and we can also find which one is the smallest, because the smallest number is going to be the least, which will be last. Okay, so if we move to the next place value, I see 0 as 10,000s, and then we have 6 compared to 800, and 600 is less than 800. So the next largest is 20,890, and our smallest value is 20,650. And again, this can be written as 21,150 is greater than 20,890, which is greater than 20,650. If we continue on to page 15, number 7, 2,212 compared to 2,600. So I notice that the thousands are in the same place, and are same value. So I go to the hundreds, and I notice that 2 is less than 6. So 2,212 is less than 2,600. Number 8. Okay, here when I go left to right, I notice that every single digit is the same, so it has to be equal. All right, number 9, I notice that this number is in the 100,000s, and this one doesn't have any 100,000s, so this number has to be greater. Okay. Number 10, so let's write 751,272. And I'm going to make sure I line up the place values of the second number. And if I look just at the 100,000s, I can see that 700,000s is less than 800,000s. So 751,272 is less than 851,001. Okay, now let's order 11 from least to greatest. So on this one, I want to find the value that is the smallest first. Okay, so I made sure I've lined up the place values. And the 4 10,000s won't help, so we go to the 1,000s, and I see that we have 2 that are that 1,000s and 1 that's 0,000. So this one is the smallest value. Now my job is to find the next larger number. And when 10,000s are the same, 1,000s are the same, and then we have 0 hundreds compared to 100. And 0 hundreds is less. So 41,090 is second. And our largest value is 41,190. So we could write it like this. 40,009 is less than 41,090, which is less than 41,090. Number 12. So that's the first value listed, and the others we're going to line up by place value from right to left to make sure that everything is lined up. It's very important that you take your time and write neatly so that your numbers are straight. All right, so again, we're finding the least to the greatest. Okay, the smallest value has to be 95,408 because the other two numbers are in the 900,000s. Okay, so now let's find the next, which one of the remaining two is smaller. So the 900,000 doesn't help, 110,000 doesn't help, but we have 0 thousands compared to 2,000. And clearly 0 thousands is less than 2,000. So 910,763 is second, and our largest value is 912,005. So if we write it with less than or greater than symbols, we can write 95,408 is less than 910,763, which is less than 912,005. Okay, now number 13, we have to find the missing value that would make these statements true. So we have 567 is less than something, which is less than 582. So what digit from 0 to 9 can we put in here to make this true? All right, for instance, if I put 0 in here, I'd have 505. Well, 567 is not less than 505. Okay, so let's try 1. 567 is not less than 515. So if we integrate what we've learned here or apply what we've learned here, we know that this digit in the tens place has to be less than that place. So which one would be smaller? 7 would be smaller. Okay. And if I put 8, 6 is smaller than 8, but then we'd have to find out, is 585 smaller than 582? And we'd say no. So the only digit that works in this problem is 7. Now let's go to the next one. We see 400,000, 400,000, 400,000. We have 6 10,000s, and this next number has the 6 10,000s is greater than it. So it has to be 5 or less. Okay, so if we put 5 there, is 453,535 greater than 443,550? And when we look here, we see that 5 is greater than 4, so that does work. So the 5 does work. If I put 4, would that work? So I'm putting a 4 in this missing spot, so the number would now be written as 443,535 compared to 443,550. And so this number on the top, this number I've written here, has to be larger than 443,550. 100,000 doesn't help. 10,000 doesn't help. 3,000 doesn't help. 500 doesn't help. 3 and 5. Well, 330 is less than 50, so that's not true. So the only number that works in this problem is 5. Which digits can replace the blank to make a true statement? So I noticed that each of these numbers are 6,000. So 456 compared to some hundreds that are missing, that's 788. And so this is going from least to greatest. So what number could work here? 5 certainly could work. 512 is definitely less than 788. If I put a 6 there, 6 would also work. Would 7 work? Let's see. 7, yes, 7 also works. I cannot put an 8 because 8 is greater than 7. So 5, 6, and 7 all work. 16. At Monica's used car sales, the sales staff set a goal of $25,500 per week. And the sales for 3 weeks were $28,288, $25,369, $25,876, and wants to know which total did not meet the goal. All right, so we're going to be looking at the 10,000s place. 28,288 clearly met the goal. So I'm going to say met because it's larger. Okay, then we have two numbers that are both in the 25,000s, and we need to find something that's greater than 500. 369 is not greater. 876 would have met the goal. So the one that does not meet the goal is $25,369. All right, number 17. Max said that 36,594 is less than 5,980 because 3 is less than 5. Describe Max's error and give the correct answer. Okay, so remember, we don't line up numbers left to right. We want to line up our place values actually starting in the ones place and go left. So what Max probably did was he probably put the 5 underneath the 3. But 5,000 is not 50,000. So the 3 and the 5 are not in the same place value. So if the 3 and the 5 aren't in the same place value position, you really can't compare them. So the 3 is in the 10,000, so 30,000 compared to the 5, which is in the thousands. 30,000 compared to 5,000, 30,000 is bigger. So that was his mistake. All right, let's go on to our last page of today's lessons, page 16. And we need to do numbers 18 through 22. All right, so use the pictograph for numbers 18 through 20. Okay, and before we get started with solving problems, let's make sure we look at the information and that we understand what they're telling us. Grand Canyon National Park tent campers. So they must be keeping track of people who sleep in tents at the Grand Canyon. And we have these months for 2008. So this is information from 2008. And we have 4 months, June, July, August, September. It says estimated number of campers. So does 2/10 mean only 2 people stayed there? No, because when I look down here, it says each tent symbol is 5,000 and a half would be 2,500. Because I know that half of 5,000 is 2,500. So in which month shown did the Grand Canyon National Park have about 7,500 tent campers? Okay, so June, I know there are 2 symbols, so that has to be 10,000. 5,000 plus 5,000. July has to be 5, 10, 15,000. August, 5, 10 plus 2,500, so 12,500. And September, 5,000 plus 2,500, 7,500. Okay, so September. And we can use logic in this one. We know that anything greater than one full tent has to be 10,000. So those would all be larger. So the only one that doesn't have 2 tents is September. Which month had more than 10,000 tent campers? Which months? June has exactly 10,000. September, we already said, has less. So that leaves us July and August. And then number 20 says, what if during the month of October, the park had 22,500 campers? How many symbols would we place on the pictograph for October? So here I would just skip count by 5,000s. And so let's build those. That's 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. And then I don't have enough I can't put another full tent, so I'm going to put half a tent for this last section. So I would draw 4 and 1/2 tent symbols. 5, 10, 15, 20,000, 22,500. And number 21. Compare 643,251, 633,512, and 633,893. The answer is 633,512. Okay, so I want to line these up by place value. All right, so we line these all up by place value, and we're going to compare. So the 600,000s are all the same. 4 is larger than the 3, so this one is the greatest. And now let's compare these final two. 3 10,000s, 3,000s, 500, 800. So this number here is the least, and this one is the middle. Okay, and then it says the answer is 633,512. So my question would be, which value is least? And you'd say 633,512. All right, 22 is like the used car sales question. And it says Zachary's school set a goal of collecting 12,155 cans of food each day. In the first 3 days, they collected the following amount: 12,250 cans. Then 10,505 cans. And 12,434 cans. So our goal was 12,155. Which goal met the daily goals and which ones did not? So 1,000, 10,000, 10,000, 2,000, 2,000. 2 is greater than 1, so this one does meet the goal. Okay, 1 10,000, 1 10,000, 0 thousands, 2,000. So this one's less than, so it did not meet. So 10,505 does not meet the goal. And our final value, 1 10,000, 2,000, 400, 100. So this one does meet the goal. Okay, and so that's it for tonight's or for your today's lesson that you've completed your math book. And so until tomorrow, may the numbers always be in your favor.